Hey YouTube, this is a VR to BoyDiviner, Casper. I haven't actually watched the video. I literally read the title and was like, I'm gonna do this, so hopefully I'm doing it right. The VR is 5 decks that intimidate me, and I immediately jumped on this because, yes, decks intimidate me. Also because I'm specifically taking some time at the end of the year when I'm doing a little mini sabbatical to learn some of these decks, and to like specifically study guidebooks, which I don't often have time to do. So, I'm not going to show the decks. I just don't have the energy for that right now. So you can Google all of these, and a lot of them are pretty well known, including the first one I will mention, which is the Marielle Tarot. The Marielle intimidates me because the art is so, like, it's I can see immediately how provocative and how like it could really be an amazing deck for doing shadow work, for doing deep intuitive work, but like the imagery does not immediately say Three of Cups to me. And so it really is a deck where like I think I have to work with it as its own thing. And also because I mentioned this before, but I want it borderless. Don't like the font for the second edition, so I got the first, and my plan is to learn all the cards so that I can recognize the card, even if I can't remember like it's Two of Cups. I know the meaning of the card art, and then trim the borders because the borders have the names on them. I also could, I guess, do the like little marker with the number and the element, but I haven't memorized the element symbols, and I find it really hard because I'm really bad at geometry and different triangles. I can't do it. I can do the zodiac symbols. I can do anything that's like very different from each other. For some reason, those element symbols don't know what they are. So yeah. So Marielle, for that reason, for the art. Another deck that intimidates me, and I've actually talked about it on this channel. I even wrote a blog post about it a while ago, which I jokingly called, I think, like my first dates with the Next World Tarot. But the Next World Tarot, when I first got it, it felt like dating the coolest queer kid on the block that you just do not feel good enough for. And so I push myself to use it because I think it's intimidating, not because I don't understand it, but because it feels so cool and so good and revolutionary, and it's like, am I worthy of you? So that's obviously kind of silly, but it does intimidate me in that way. Number 3, why am I doing three, not 3? Number 3, I think I will say Dust to Onyx, and the reason for that is, so it's a gorgeous deck. So if you're intimidated by amazing art, but I'm not. The reason I'm intimidated, I think, by this deck is because of its cultural specificity and the fact that the images are very grounded in specific culture. I believe Yoruba, although I haven't actually read the guidebook, so I'm not totally sure if it's a combination of traditions, if it's Yoruba specific, but it is definitely based in one or more African continent spiritual traditions. And because I'm not from that culture or ethnicity or location, it's a little bit intimidating, just because like I can see what the card is, but it feels even more so that I need to like deeply study and understand and learn. And then I think there's always, even once I've learned it, and I do intend to study that one at the end of this year, but I think even once I've learned it, there is a certain intimidation factor just in terms of like, is this for me? This is like not my culture, and so wanting to be respectful there creates a certain intimidation factor. Okay, so those are the 3 that like immediately jumped into my head. For another couple, I would actually say, oddly, maybe not oddly, I think the Cosmos, that's the combined Tarot and Oracle Cosmos deck, is a little intimidating, kind of for similar reasons, I think, as, well, no, not for similar reasons. I'll explain it. So, I know astrology, but the Cosmos uses because it's 78 cards plus an Oracle deck, uses a lot of different like constellation references, asteroids, things that I don't know. And while the tarot definitions are similar to Rider-Waite-Smith, they're not exactly the same. So I find myself not using it for that reason. I, again, need to get to know the cards as themselves. And admittedly, there's only so many decks I can memorize as themselves. So that may become a challenge. Then, let's see, what will I pick for number 5? Sorry, I'm looking over my shoulder because that's my bookcase of tarot cards. I think I will kind of, so I'll name one and then kind of as a representative of a catch-all, which is the Wild Messengers. So the reason is that, so that's an animal deck, and that's one that I happen to have and specifically need to go through and learn what the associations are with the different animals. But I think as also a broader category, animal decks and also plant decks. So I have like the Herb Crafters Tarot. I've been kind of interested in crystal oracles, anything like that where it's like plants, stones, animals. Because I don't have a deep grounding in the thing, and because everybody's going to interpret them differently, it's intimidating to try to read with them because I feel like I'm just going to be looking up in the guidebook, even if it's a tarot deck, and technically I could just read the meaning. I'm like, okay, well, why is that a brown bear? Like, I want to know. So they're a little bit intimidating as well. So those are the 5. Why do I keep reversing my numbers? 5. Not hand in your face. 5 decks that intimidate me. You can do this too. VR to BoyDiviner. The BoyDiviner? BoyDiviner. Just BoyDiviner. I don't know why I second guessed myself on that channel name. And if you enjoy tarot content, don't forget to like and subscribe.